Hi guys, how you doing? Paul79 here, hope you're safe and well. So, Saturday morning, well, Saturday lunchtime according to the Porsche clock. And I'm actually going to start doing some car work. So, I decided I'm going to focus on the back because I haven't been round there for a while. So, what we're going to do is this this sort of support brace. This is where the back window is glued to, right? But what I want to do, it's quite flexible, and what I want to do is I want to try and strengthen it up by putting maybe a bar underneath that and then sort of attaching it to the metal of the car there. So what I'm probably going to do is take the boot off to give me more sort of access, and yeah, sort of work on that bit and sort of ease myself back into it, because these cars are all about momentum. Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot over the summer with all the brakes, all the underneath, everything's blacked out, but yeah, I haven't really touched the bodywork for a long time. So I want to make sure that the arches all line up okay at the back, etc, etc, and yeah, just try and strengthen it up a bit. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll let you know how I get on. Right, hi people. So it's Sunday afternoon. I've had a really good day on the car, actually. I feel really happy. I haven't done work like this on it for a good few months, maybe 3 months, where I'm actually having to think as opposed to bolting things on. So in the last scene we were talking about this bit and how I wanted to sort of strengthen it up. What I'd actually forgotten is, and I've done this on the white car, is because I make my own sort of parcel shelf here to cover this up. I put these struts on, like I just make it out of this very thick metal. It's probably like 5mm metal. It's like this stuff here, like that. Just get it from Tool Station. So I've been cutting it up with the old angle grinder and all this sort of stuff, and I put like a bend in it here, and then basically I attach it to the this part. Now I'll just talk through the kit. Basically you have the 2 quarter panels, and then you have the rear bumper, and basically you bolt the quarter panels to the bumper each side, and then you get in the kit this big plate. It's so clever the way they do it, and you get these sort of brackets here that go like that. They're sort of L-shaped brackets. They mount onto some original Boxster mounting points, and basically you have this metal plate, and then you put the quarters and the bumper on, and it sort of hangs on this plate like that. And then you've got a lot of adjustment, but you have to drill holes into the original Boxster body, and then you have bolts with nuts at the top and the bottom, and you can then use the bolts to get the height how you want it, and that's how it all fits together. It's a bit of a square peg in a round hole, and it takes forever, and it really is a 2-man job just to get it all right. You obviously have to worry about the roof as well, and then you have to get the sides into the door shuts by cutting back the door shuts and then screwing and bonding them in. Well, I actually rivet them. I love rivets. Rivets are so good. I've had a riveting time this weekend. So in terms of so that's all sort of standard, but I like to do some extra bits, right? Because I've sort of learned a few things over the years, because I do my parcel shelf differently. So what I'll do is I'll make a parcel shelf out of wood, cover it in carpet, and it will come across here. It will lie across this, and then I will have other pieces of wood that go here. And what that means is when the guys want to get access to the engine, they don't have to remove the parcel shelf, because the way it comes across here and then goes down like that, it still gives access to the engine in the normal way. So what will happen is at a later date I will design this parcel shelf and design it so it goes right to the edge and it hides everything. If you look at some of my build diaries from the white car, you'll sort of see what I've done. Now, I know I was talking about this bit and how it bends. What I'm planning to do is on these bracing points here. Now, it doesn't matter, this is nothing structural, but I just want it to be as solid as possible. So what I'm going to do is a bit like with these bolts here. You have a nut, you have the head, and then a nut underneath, and then a nut, and then another nut. I'm going to do something similar here, right, and just have some smaller button-shaped Allen bolts that will go there. And it doesn't matter if these bits stick up a bit, because basically the rear window is going to be glued on here, and there's going to be tons of glue anyway, so it'll just cover it up. And also I will cover this up. I will put like felt on it as well to make it look like the interior when it's finally done. The parcel shelf will go in here. If you can imagine, oh, I haven't got a bit of wood. Let me just get a bit of wood. It'll probably be about that thick, right? You imagine you've got a big plank of wood or a big sheet of wood. The parcel shelf will fit in like that and go all the way across there. And that gap I make up by just basically getting foam, doing a foam strip, covering it in felt, so in carpet, and it sort of all just blends in and it hides the gaps. I will also probably cover a bit of this with felt as well. Not too much, because there needs to be the glue to stick the window on. So what else have I done? So what I've found with these kits and the white one is these slots here, right? This is where the hinges go, and it's normal 991 engine hinges, right? And basically, obviously, that's where they're mounted, and that's the pivot point. So what I notice is there is a bit of flex on these, right, on the white car, that I thought I'd try and get rid of. So what I've done, you can probably see it here, is I've done an L-shaped bracket and riveted it to the underneath of that. So now that is proper solid and doesn't move, and hopefully that should do the trick. It shouldn't get in the way of the bolts that go in for the hinges, but we can always make adjustments. But yeah, so I've made that a lot firmer than the white car. And then also, you know, I was talking about trying to stick some metal under here to stop this flex. Well, I've talked about those bits there, but these things, what I decided to do is add sort of like a bracing plate. So you see here, goes up and across like that to give it even more sort of, this whole thing, even more sort of strength. And it's all riveted to the original Boxster mounting points. Now I'm hoping, now, so it doesn't really matter. I know you can see in this hole the metal's there, but that wouldn't matter, because my parcel shelf is going to fit there anyway, and again that will be covered in felt. So when it's done, okay, the actual access to that is going to be slightly lower, but that doesn't matter, because that'll all be blanked out with black carpet. And again, I attach this piece, right, you add in afterwards. And what I've done is I've trimmed it down to just give us more boot room, right? Because when it came originally, it had a lip on here. It was low and it had a lip. I found that on the white car, I trimmed it down a bit more just to have more space to get stuff in the boot. And I just rivet all this stuff together. I don't bolt it, because you shouldn't need to take it apart, and if you do need to take it apart, well, you just drill the rivets out. But I did that on the last car and it's all fine. And I know it doesn't look very pretty, they never do, but all of this is going to be spray black by the body shop, all around there. I'm going to paint these black anyway, because I like things to all look black and look a bit more factory as opposed to tool station. I'll paint the back of that as well, just spray it. Doesn't have to be perfect. What I've had to do, so this lip here, this is where the original Boxster boot rubber fits, and when the car comes back from being painted, I still put the boot rubber on just to sort of finish it off, because you do see this sort of area to a certain extent, but in order to get in there and rivet this metal, I had to bend it down just to get the drill in. But you know, it's just a lip, really doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's sort of what I've done this weekend, and I'm really pleased how it's turned out. Another thing I've had an idea of, now all of this stuff that I've done that you can see, let's call it the silver stuff, you don't have to do it, right? These are just sort of extra things that I've done because I think it makes it better. Okay, it makes the car heavier because there's more steel on there, but let's face it, I'm not going to take it around the Nürburgring. I only go to the shops in it and the station. What another idea I've sort of had as well is, because these rear quarters they're really heavy, well, not really heavy, but they're heavy, it does put pressure on this metal plate, right? So what I've done is I've drilled out a hole here, and again I'm going to do something similar like with these bolts and drill a hole at the bottom there to sort of firm that bit up as well. And it all enables me to adjust the panels up and down as well. So I just need a longer drill bit to drill through there and into there, and you know, that's all just original Boxster stuff. It won't get in the way of the lights, it'll be fine. But yeah, that's just another idea I've had while sort of doing it. So there you go. So yeah, I will spray all of this black, and it won't look so odd. But yeah, I'm just sort of firming up the rear of the car really. I've tested the window still fits in here. You know, the window will just be bonded along here all the way around. My body shop is going to have to do a lot of work to make it look good, but that's effectively what I've done. So like I said, I will see you later guys, and I hope you had a good weekend.